Torn Letters of Otherness. This is the first volume of this series of books, with the second volume coming up very soon from Atramentous Press. This is a series of letters that were written to each other, a series of communications between Ian C. Edwards and Peter Hamilton Giles. Now, Ian C. Edwards you may recognize from Anathema Publishing's A Druid in Psychologist's Clothing, and you'll possibly also recognize him from Atramentous Press, says Being and Non-Being in Occult Experience, that I reviewed volumes 1 to 3 of quite recently. Now, this is pretty much in the same vein as Being and Non-Being. And the reason I say this is because it kind of covers at least one of the topics that it covers is the topic of being and non-being and becoming, and the state of absence, and what that means. It also goes into language and language's inability, or ability, or the extent of language's ability to convey these ideas, to convey these experiences, and what's required instead, right? So those are the topics really being covered here. I'll give you an idea of the contents page over here. I mean, you'll probably be able to see just from the titles here, this is not a relaxed, sit back and enjoy a cup of cocoa kind of book, unless this is the way you like to relax. This is intense, right? It took me as long to read through one chapter of this book as it normally takes me to get through an entire book for one of these reviews, right? It's exactly the kind of language that's required to cover this topic. And I think that I said this about the Being and Non-Being in Occult Experience series as well. It's dense, but it's the kind of dense that's required to encircle, to delineate the ideas that are being presented here. But my goodness, you're gonna need a cup of coffee, I think. I mean, I certainly did. Now, I'm regularly called out for saying that books are difficult to read, and it's true. I fully admit that for me, if a book is let me see, if a sentence, if the average length of a sentence in a book is longer than 5 lines, then I tend to struggle. It's just me. It's just the way my brain works, right? Some people actually really appreciate this, and I regularly talk to Foolish Fish members who say to me, oh, I'm sorry, that's kind of what I look for in a book. So just to be aware that this might indeed be exactly what you're looking for, but yeah, it was just a little bit too hard going for me, actually. I'm just gonna have to admit that. Okay, so that's what I've got to say about the contents. Maybe I'll say one last thing, because these really are two authors who really are masters of the topics that they're covering here. Okay, so it's not like I've read a couple of books over the past year where it was really, really densely written, really difficult to work out what the author was saying. But then when you worked it out, it was just nonsense. That is not the case here, right? Once you've worked it out, you realize, well, yes, you couldn't really have said it any other way. And it's an important idea that you've put across, right? So that really is, I think that's probably the most important thing to be said about the contents here, right? Okay. let's talk a little bit about the form of the book. I mean, I like so much about this. I mean, just look at the outside of it. I've spent a few moments there at the beginning of the video, just regaling you guys with how beautiful it is. It really is really very, very lovely. It is in Mitlin, right? It's not cloth, but that's fine. Look how beautiful that is. Okay, and then the spine looks like this, and then the other side is the same idea, just without the title. Okay, and it's this gold foil stamp. Looks really beautiful. There are no head and tail bands, and that's not a problem in my book. And it is Smith's own, and you can see the signatures there. Okay, very nice end papers. I think that the paper itself, I'm not a fan of glossy paper. You can see that it's not really glossy. I think that's taking it too far. It's kind of silky, which is it's certainly not bad quality paper. You know, it's good quality paper. It's just not my favorite kind of paper. I prefer a matte. Like ideally a matte textured paper, but you know, this book is selling for a surprisingly low price given the quality that you're getting here, right? So obviously I'm going to leave a link in the description so that you can check out where you can pick that up yourself. But what I really did appreciate is just going through how Ian C. Edwards' text is in blue, and then Peter Hamilton Giles' text is in black. And you know, that's actually really nice, because they do have different styles of writing, and it's kind of enhanced by this the idea of a dialogue, right, is enhanced by these two different colors. So that's quite cool. That's quite a nice point. Pretty limited run on these, if I remember correctly. I think there's something like 313. It might be written in the back, but no. Is it 313? I think it might be. And then 13 of this like super special, super deluxe edition, right? So there we go. That's just a brief look, a brief overview, barely an overview really, of Torn Letters of Otherness by Ian C. Edwards and Peter Hamilton Giles, with volume 2 on its way. And I'll leave links to all of that down in the description. There we go, folks. I hope you enjoyed the review, as kind of tentative as it was. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you very soon with another one. See you soon. Bye.